Hello everyone and welcome back to the Belgian Beer Brothers channel. Cedric here in Antwerp with yet another brew review, and today we are going to talk about one of my favorite breweries in the Netherlands, Vandestreek in Utrecht. Today we are gonna have a Kalf, a calf, a small cow. This is a golden blonde ale, and it is important that I emphasize this because this is brewed for basically a film festival where they award the Golden Calf to the best movies. Now, what do they say about this beer? For starters, I love the label. They actually do have a golden calf and a golden logo, and for the rest it's just orange and red tints, very calming, very nice, all on a old 35mm film roll pellicule. The perfect beer for a conversation after a good movie. Refreshing, flowery, a real thirst quencher, nice and light to be clear enough for the next movie. Brewed by Vandestreek for Netherlands Film Festival. Ingredients: water, barley malt, wheat malt, hops, calendula, white tea, coriander and yeast. Now I am very curious for that calendula and that white tea. As you guys might remember, I absolutely love Lucy by Antwerp Brewing Company. More on them later in the Vandestreek series. But I love tea. I love some tannins that are in tea, although I don't know if white tea has a lot of tannins. But the combination calendula, white tea, coriander sounds pretty amazing to me. Now, since recently I do have my own Vandestreek glass, so let's dive right in. It's a 6.5% ABV, golden blonde as they say. Seems to check out. Now I would be very surprised if Vandestreek doesn't deliver what they promise. Yes, golden blonde is spot on, nice effervescence, lovely carbonation there, some smooth yellowish off-white foam. Ooh, this is a two-stager. At first the aroma gives a very typical lager, nice and hoppy, nice and yeasty, and immediately after that it gets a bit floral, a bit herbal. Okay, I'm very curious for the taste. Cheers! Oh wow. Yeah, this is very complex, very interesting, very odd at the same time. On one side it's very yeasty. This could be a Belgian triple, for example. But that immediately brings us to the herbs, or to the flavorings. The calendula and the coriander are mixed perfectly, and I think that the white tea, the tea leaves are in there quite subtly. It's more like a feeling than a flavor, but these all go hand in hand, and that is quite nice. So just like in a Belgian triple, and by the way, this feels very boozy. It really doesn't come across as 6.5%. I would easily give this 7.5, maybe 8. But the hops and the herbs, the coriander, the calendula, the flowery component really work together on this. Is it balanced? Well, yeah, it is balanced in the sense that all of the flavors are quite strong. And because of that floral flavoring, it does come across as ever so slightly like sweet. Now this has nothing to do with vanilla, but I do want to make the analogy that vanilla might come across as sweet, but really isn't. And I have the same idea with these flowers. It comes across as slightly sweet, but it really isn't. But it is very nice. Now, the aftertaste is something else. Also nice, but I expected this aftertaste to be very malty, very yeasty, and instead it's mainly hoppy and flowery. I'm not gonna put this to the extremes. I'm not gonna say it's like chewing grass or petals, but I do get a lot of flowery, hoppy notes in the aftertaste, be it mellow but still very, very present. I'm not the biggest fan of the flowers. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like them, but I think it's just a bit much. Easily, so I could do with a bit less, and therefore I am gonna score this beer slightly lower. I'm gonna give this like a classic 3.5. Why? Because it's actually a pretty great beer, but it's just not my cup of tea. See what I did there? I like the tea. I think the calendula is a bit much, but yeah, 3.5 easily, because as usual quality needs to be recognized. Yeah, 3.5 for the golden calf. I think that tomorrow I'm gonna try the alcohol free variant of this same beer, and I'm very curious to find out the differences and whether I'm gonna like that or not. And after that, we are diving into not 1, not 2, not 6, but 12 barrel-aged collabs of Vandestreek. So, yeah, let's see if I make it to 12. Okay, oh, it's even 13. Oh, wow. Yeah, until then, cheers, you guys. Oh, and if you want to support this channel, check out the Patreon page, share a video. You know, the usual. Cheers.